with the Secure Your Bag series over here on YouTube that I've decided to start because, you know, we are all waking up and getting things done, pushing forward, moving forward. And I know a lot of people in the last at least that I've really paid attention to in the last 5 years have been like, yes, let's start these black businesses, ho. And I'm all for it because I definitely buy and support black as much as I can. And when spirit, you know, really is moving me to do that. So I'm trying to help, you know, my other black entrepreneurs out here, you know, and other entrepreneurs too. This is for everybody, but specifically, I really am trying to help out, you know, black people to get to the next level of blackness. I'm not even saying in terms of like whiteness and we need to be more like white businesses, but just so we can get to the next level of blackness. So I really think I had talked about, and I started talking about the different levels of businesses, and I talked about education. You really need to like educate yourself. Research is paramount. Like that's the first part of your business. Like I think far too often in that video I stated, you know, people are trying to use entrepreneurship as a means to not educate themselves or to get around like educating themselves or being educated. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you definitely don't need a college degree to run a business. You definitely need to know how to read and write real good. And you need to know how to count real good. And I'm not seeing that. So that's why I was like, well, let me get on here and try to give with a little information that I have because I can't keep it to myself. So I do want to talk about the types of businesses that you can own and further talk about why you shouldn't kind of rush to be like, okay, I'm an LLC everything to death. Especially when you just started a business like a month ago. Like you don't need to do that. You don't even need to do that. So there's different types of businesses. The ones I'm going to talk about this video are sole proprietorship, corporations, limited liability companies, in addition to nonprofit organizations. So sole proprietorship is basically where you are taking sole responsibility. Everything basically, to make it in layman's terms, is going to fall on you. You are the main guy. So if somebody doesn't like your product or somebody has an issue with your product or your product causes death or injury, you are liable to be sued in addition to your business. That's why most people don't necessarily want to do a sole proprietorship, because it then brings them into the legal realm of ramifications, so forth and so on. So a lot of people don't necessarily pick that option, but it doesn't mean that it's not a viable option depending on what it is that you're selling. For I would say a good thing for sole proprietorship is if somebody is providing services that will not cause harm or bodily injury. So say maybe you want to start an accounting firm. Okay, you could definitely do a sole proprietorship because it's not dealing with anybody's bodily harm or injury. You can still be sued if you mess up somebody's books, but it's not going to be nearly as bad on you as if somebody dies from using your product, or if somebody is to become injured when using your product, because now they can sue you as the person who is selling these products and sue your business. So again, when picking the sole proprietor, again, if you're just somebody who's doing something on your own, it's not going to require too much stuff going on. A t-shirt business is a good thing for sole proprietorship because it's not really going to hurt or harm anybody. And it would go through really like a civil situation if something is messed up. So I would say those are good businesses, or that's a good business. Or if you're thinking about, okay, well, do I want to do sole proprietorship? Think about bodily injury. Think about making somebody sick. Do I want to pay the legal fees for myself as a person, like a singular person, and pay the fees for my business? So start to think about that. If you're going into a limited liability company, corporation, LLC, which is what everybody's doing, which is why it's always the most common or the one that picked, or you see after everybody's name LLC, is because they are trying to protect themselves from legal action. So this is better for brands who are, or businesses that are selling services that could potentially hurt or harm someone. So selling lashes, you would want to do a LLC after you've turned a profit. Again, after you turn a profit. If you are not a profitable business, please do not run to legitimize your business. Don't nobody want your business. Stop trying to legitimize something that may not even need to be legitimized. Thank you. Again, selling lashes, if the person doesn't put, even if it's user error, if the person doesn't put them on correctly, now they're blinded for life. Now they're ready to sue you. So that is going to allow them to just seize your profits, seize anything that has to do with your business. It all will fall back on your business and not you. So you then become a separate entity from your business, which is why people pick it, because, okay, I can separate myself. So if this person, like I said, becomes injured from me with this eye, you know, they put the lashes on wrong, glue their eye shut, now they ain't got no eye. Now they can only sue my business. So they can take whatever from my business, or my business, all my funding and things will go towards the business, and I don't have to get legal representation for myself in addition to that. So that's why people are like, yes, LLC it down, LLC it down. And I don't go against that. I feel like for most things that black people are trying to sell, hair, you definitely should be a liable a LLC. Any gifts and services, or any services or items that could potentially cause bodily injury or harm, you definitely need to be a limited liability company, because then we can only sue your company. We can't necessarily sue you, and that absolves you, the person, of any responsibility of said product, because then it's on your business, which is a whole nother conversation that I won't do for this video. Moving on to corporations. So corporations, I'm just like real conservative with a lot of stuff that I do. So if I'm gonna start a corporation, I want to have at least 100 employees, or multiple locations, or multiple facets or services that I sell under the umbrella. So the corporation is an umbrella. So again, I'm going to have more than 100 employees. I'm going to have multiple locations potentially. I'm going to have multiple services or businesses that I'm doing or operating. A corporation, again, like you said, McDonald's, or seeing McDonald's, they have multiple locations, they have multiple franchises, they have different services and goods that they do within that company under that umbrella, the McDonald's Corporation umbrella. So most small businesses won't really ever need a corporation unless they become something like a Honey Pot. The Honey Pot is a good example. She could probably operate as a corporation because she is doing numbers, okay, and she got money, and she getting into stores, and she's, profiting from her business. And if she wants to, say, open a freestanding or open a brick and mortar, the Honey Pot, which I'm not quite sure she's done, and she wants to open up 5 or 6 of them, and she is, I would say, over 100 employees, then it would make sense for her to be a corporation. Or like I said, with McDonald's, multiple locations, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of employees, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of franchises. Last but not least, this is the one that used to be popular, but it's not so much popular anymore, that I see from the people that I see. I guess I'm gonna park around here. Is the not the LLC, but the nonprofit. Dang, there's no parking spots. The nonprofit option. I just made it to work, y'all. That people are not using or taking advantage of. Actually, I'm gonna run down here to the sport. So I'm sorry, I made some changes. Again, not a brain fart, but the nonprofit option is for people who could potentially want to start services. When I think of a nonprofit, I think of mostly services. So I want to open a nonprofit for domestic violence victims. I want to provide housing, counseling, or case management services. So now I can do that and then receive donations gifts, donations, gifts. I'm sorry, every time. Omar, I can't. I'm sorry, y'all. If you really are like on the internet, you know where that came from. But you can receive donations and gifts, and you get tax write-offs, and the cost of business, the cost of taxes. You're not going to be taxed on these things. You can receive things as gifts and donations. If you really are a scam artist, or you really are out here in the scammer streets, you can start a nonprofit organization for, say, homelessness. Okay, this is for the Home of the Brave. That's not a scam organization. It's very profitable. Not profitable, very good organization. But for you to use them, for example, okay, I'm going to name my business the Home of the Brave. We're trying to get, people off the streets, homeless people who are veterans off the streets. But you now can say, okay, it's just a service. I'm just linking them to housing. So that could really mean anything. You could just provide them with a list, and you have, set out or given the services that you said that you were going to give to them. And then you can still also receive donations. And giving somebody a packet only costs really, 10 cents. So if I'm, telling people I'm giving people housing resources, then, I've made $1,000, and it's only going to cost me $50 to actually provide the service. So again, there's many different ways to skin a cat with the securing the bag, and we want to continue it. And I'm going to get really in depth and talk about why, the legitimization of your business, when it should happen, because I keep kind of dropping that for people who don't understand, and talk about taxes and what is appropriate and what's not. So for me, from my experience, so I will get with y'all the next time. If you want to find me, you can find me at ashleysa.com. That is where I'm at. That is where I be. If you want tarot card reads, you can get them there. You can send me an email. There's all the information there. If you want to buy the books that I've written already on how to secure the bag as an individual, not just in a business way, but just money, because I haven't written the business guide yet. There's that too. Everything's over there. So I appreciate you guys. Go ahead over there. For all of you over here, if you're interested, BTC, I'm still accepting people. You're more than welcome to come over there, sign yourself up, get what you need to get. And then there's also that $25 giveaway next week that is happening for the people. And what else? The Raffle is still going on. So if you want to see me and do a video FaceTime situation, go to ashley's.com. The raffle tickets are up. They're $5 per ticket. You can buy as many as you want. There's, I think, about 45 left now, because somebody just bought some the other day. And that is next week. So if you want to get on that, you can. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, cute stuff. I appreciate y'all. Bye.